everyone, it's Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Happy Saturday to all of you, and today I'm playing Philipp's Reno Warrior deck on the Wild Mode ladder. Philip is a good friend of mine and a loyal viewer of the channel, so I'm honoured to play this deck. Now on Twitter, Philip calls himself a warrior enthusiast and a builder of bad decks. Now I can disagree wholeheartedly with that last statement. Philip, you are a great deck builder because this deck right here is proof that you know what you're doing. I picked this deck up with no prior experience, no prior knowledge, and with no practice. Launched straight in, won 5 and lost 2. 71% win rate on a small sample size. Very impressive. I beat a Paladin, a Priest, a Demon Hunter, a Warrior and a Shaman. Lost to 2 Demon Hunters, and as you'll see in this video, sometimes you just don't draw what you need to draw against hyper-aggressive decks like Demon Hunter, but that's fine. It happens, right? It's the risk, the gamble you take when playing a Reno deck. Sometimes a Reno Jackson just doesn't appear. In summary, this deck has AoE, it's got board clears, it's got death rattle minions, including taunts. You're playing N'Zoth the Corruptor, you bring them back to life. You've got Dead Man's Hand in this deck to shuffle some cards into your deck to get additional value. So that is a summary of how it works, but let's look at it in a bit more depth. Let's look at Philip's top tips of how to play the deck. Firstly, in this deck, Warrior AoE is scarce. You're running single copies of your cards. So, before you use your AoE, start trading with your minions and your taunts first. Do you need to brawl on this turn, or can you wait one more turn before brawling? Once that AoE is used up, it's gone, unless you've shuffled additional copies into your deck, of course, with Dead Man's Hand. But in general, AoE is limited. Be careful with it. Secondly, Dead Man's Hand. I'm greedy. I will keep Dead Man's Hand until I find N'Zoth. That's incorrect. If Dead Man's Hand is going to get you value, so for example, if shuffling a second copy of a Brawl into your deck is really going to help you win the game, do it. If shuffling a couple of taunts into your deck is going to help you win the game when you draw them again, do it. Don't have to wait for N'Zoth with Dead Man's Hand. Thirdly, Kargath and Snip Snap are death rattle minions. And when they come back to life, they have rush. I often forget that. So when you bring them back to life, you can make trades on the board or even value trades. And so realizing that can help shape your strategy in the turns leading up to playing N'Zoth. Okay, the fourth tip, decide on the win condition. There are 3 win conditions. Are you going to be a disruption heavy deck in terms of your strategy? Are you going to play Coldlight Oracle to mill your opponent of their Vargoth or their giants? Are you going to play Dirty Rattle Deathlord to put their combo pieces onto the board and then kill them? Are you going to focus on clearing aggressive boards and healing up, outlasting your opponent, exhausting them of threats, and then maybe play N'Zoth the Corruptor, and one wave of N'Zoth's minions is enough to seal out the game? Or are you going for the long game? So against slower decks, Hakkar, Dr. Boom. These cards can help you with the value you need to beat a slow deck. Or maybe instead you wait for the right moment and you shuffle N'Zoth into your deck to get a second copy through Dead Man's Hand, and that second wave of minions coming back to life is enough to see out the game. Or maybe you're utilising Hakkar, Boom and the second N'Zoth in combination, and that is what you need. And finally, remember, this is a Reno deck. Do not be afraid to change the composition of the deck. Take cards in, take cards out. You're all going to be facing different metas, right? Depending on what rank you're playing at, what region you're playing on. Asia is going to be different to Europe. So don't be afraid to change the deck. It's a Reno deck. Reno decks by design are flexible for the most part. It's not as if you're sitting there with 29 cards that have to be in the deck and only have one card that you can remove. No, be as flexible as you need to be. Okay, these are my favourite cards of the deck. Dr. Boom Mad Genius, I just love the different options that can be made available to you. My favourite hero power that he offers is the Discover a Mech hero power. It's just fun, a bit like Deathstalker Rexar, letting you discover beasts. Zombie beasts. Dr. Boom Mad Genius and his hero power is it's just really fun. Kargath Prime, oh gosh, 10 armour. This can just save you against aggro decks if drawn at the right time. And if he can attack twice and get you 20 armour, those aggro decks, they ain't winning the game. And finally, Hakkar, along with Corrupted Blood. I love Hakkar. Philipp has actually cut this card from the latest version of the deck. He says there's no place for it. I agree. Hakkar doesn't win you many games, but damn, it's fun to play, and your opponent gets so confused they don't know what to do when Corrupted Blood is flowing. Okay, Philipp's MVP card of the deck is Town Crier. If you can play Town Crier, and on the same turn you draw Kargath Prime and can play it on that turn, that's just incredible, right? Rush minion, 10 attack, gain 10 armor on the same turn that you draw it from the Town Crier is just phenomenal value. Alternatively, there's lots of Ziliacs as well, or just Kargath himself. Yeah, Kargath alone is just a 4/4, but drawing him via Town Crier, playing him then on the same turn is still really, really good. Okay, let's look at our first game. It's against a Paladin. Oh, bit of a graphical glitch there. I'm trying to get my deck tracker to work. It doesn't want to play ball with me. It often has to warm up for a bit before it sets itself in the right position. Okay, so Paladin, what are you?
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, you're reporting for duty. That's what we like to see. Hero power and pass. Hero power and nothing else. Which is what I'm doing on this turn, interestingly enough. Didn't see the point in coining out the Acolyte. The coin is going to be more useful. And as you can see here, this is a Mech Paladin, and so the coin into the weapon is going to clear the whole board. Good thing we saved that coin. And there you go. So you have the tools to deal with aggressive opponents. Okay, our next game is against a Demon Hunter. Now I'm going to keep Kargath here, because it's got Rush. It has Rush, and it will hopefully kill something that it rushes into. And that could, you know, save a bit of damage from going to my face.
None will survive.
Wow, okay, so his hero power is going to be doing 2 damage. This is going to be an aggressive variant of Demon Hunter. Probably a very aggressive variant. Nothing to do here. That's fine. So, hero power? No? Coin. Ooh. Okay, so yes, very aggressive here. Going for quite a significant board presence early on. That's really good value. 8 armor gain there. Floating 1 mana. It's absolutely fine.
They will never catch me.
Now Kargath is going to do some work next turn. It'll kill 1 minion. Oh, there's our deck tracker. It's back. He'll kill one minion and then be able to kill one more, hopefully. But I'm still feeling quite concerned about this board because of how wide he's going. I'd really like a brawl. I'd really like some AoE.
Halt! Who goes there? I am morphing you.
Hench Clan Thug. That's really awkward. It's going to be hard to deal with that, I think. I mean, shield block, shield slam would kill it. Brawl would possibly deal with it. Warpath eventually will deal with it, maybe.
Who goes there?
Double Thug. That's really scary. He's doing a lot of trading. But he wants to keep the Thug healthy. I guess that's smart. It's also helping to play around Brawl by getting rid of his low attack, low health minions. Now, smart player. He got rid of my mana. So I could not play the Kartut Defender. Although I don't know if Kartut Defender would do enough in the situation. It's only got 3 attack. Those thugs are just gonna keep going. Oh wow. And this aggressive onslaught. So what would save us here? Potentially a brawl?
Your wish is my suggestion.
So Zephyrus. Okay. Shadow Word Ruin. It does something. To be honest, I was kind of expecting Brawl. Why didn't I get Brawl? That's interesting. Because I had 5 mana to spare. So anyway, it's at moments like this that you hope to try and make some kind of a comeback with your taunts, maybe drawing Reno. But his aggression there, way too much.
Versus Tyrande.
Alright. Starting out now against a priest. So, it's a priest on wild. You don't see big priest much anymore. It's going to be Reno Priest. And so we're going to go the long game. I think that's the prediction. And armor is going to be really, really important. If we're going to outlast his hero power. Pinging us in the face constantly.
Speak to me.
So, Acolyte may bait out a bit of removal. Or not.
Bring pain.
A really interesting card in this deck is Bring It On. I'm curious as to what is the right time to play it. Because you don't want to give your opponent too much value with the discount. So do you play it early when they don't have many cards available to them to get the value up? Or do you play it in the late game when you need an emergency 10 armor and maybe your opponent doesn't have many cards in the late game because they're running into fatigue maybe, or they've exhausted most of their resources. So you play in the late game when they don't get much of a discount.
Surrender your will to the command.
Right, here we go. So Raza gets played, and I assume that Shadow Reaper Anduin is not going to be too far behind. Sitting at 12 armor currently, is that going to be enough for us? Do we need to think about pressing that hero power button every single turn? Alright, Shadow with Pain from Shadow Visions, important to note. So he's got another copy to come.
I hope you like my invention.
Okay, so I feel the need to kill Raza. It represents 5 attack. And I need to preserve my armor as best as I can, because once Anduin comes down, we're going to be in trouble. So I need to take those high attack minions off the board as a priority.
Secret agent.
Oh, Draconoid Operative. It's a really, really good card. Potentially now he's finding something juicy in my deck, something useful that he could use against me, and I don't know what he's picked.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, so there is a strategy here to try and mill him. Maybe we can get lucky, and maybe we can mill him of something good. Oh, I'd say that's pretty good. Reno Jackson, say goodbye. Now, we did commit quite a lot on that turn. We've used the Plague of Wrath, and that's a precious bit of our board clears gone. Oh my god! It stole the Kargath Prime. Are you kidding me? Well, we can deal with it. It's fine. But let's see what hero power we get. Ah, we get the armor hero power. I would have loved to have armored up there, but we had to kill that. So against a Reno Priest, how good is Dr. Boom Mad Genius, considering that you cannot armor up every single turn? And we know how important armor is. Now, Dead Man's Hand. Is this a good time to play it? I get an Azoth, I get Dragon Queen back into my deck.
Life and hope.
Or maybe this is better. I just play the dragons. Ooh, Fireball. And I play the dragons, and
Good explorer comes
what he may do is he may just Psychic Scream. If he can't deal with Alex Straza, he may Psychic Scream and put these back into my deck. I'm fine with that. Absolutely fine with that, if you want to do it. Alternatively, he may have Shadow Reaper Anduin and kill Alex in that way. Or he may decide he's not feeling especially threatened by this board because 2 of the dragons only have 2 attack.
Meddlesome insect.
Interesting.
A worthy disciple.
So is he going to Kazakas for 1 here? 1 cost potion? Is that going to help him? Is that it? That's it. Wow, okay. Really not feeling threatened by Alex. So we're obviously nowhere close to lethal here. So we're going to have to focus on clearing the board. We want to preserve our armour as much as we can. But taking 3 seems okay. And we push 8 to the face. And I want that Alex back. And that feels really good. Sometimes I get really greedy and I hold Zola for the Zoth. But this was a good use of Zola. And this, I think, is a good dead man's hand. We shuffled Alex, we shuffled the Zoth.
Brilliant.
We shuffled Bring It On, which is armor gain. I mean, was that the right turn for Bring It On? I did it under the notion that Shadow Reaper Anduin is going to be quite scary for me to deal with. And I want the armor gain now. Okay, so
My hand is full.
Penance, okay, not a bad card to mill. There are more preferable cards to mill, but I'll take it. So we're faced with some choices here. Spirit Lash your own minion. Okay, sure. We're faced with some choices. Hakkar being played now while we can still play it seems fine. Psychic Scream? Yeah, Psychic Scream. Wow, okay. He does not want to deal with Hakkar. Of course, he's a Reno deck, so the Corrupted Bloods being shuffled can really screw things up for him. Oh, there's Reno.
Reactor core online.
So I assume he's not going to be able to kill us on one turn, right? With Mind Blasts and other weird shenanigans. So once he plays Anduin, he's going to have to progressively get our armor down, get our health down, and
Life and hope are worth fighting.
then we can play Reno when the time is right, when our health total is low enough. The heavens quake. So, you've used Psychic Scream. What other tricks do you have to deal with this board? No, that's not bad. And it's a board clear, sure. So, looking at his board clears now. Psychic Scream's gone.
Almost out of cards.
Mass Hysteria is gone. Say hello to N'Zoth. Now, I do have another one in the deck, so pretty happy with this outcome.
I wonder.
Now, I don't know if Deathwing was the right pick.
The light has betrayed me.
But to me, it's the most fun option. So that's why I picked Deathwing. But we've got 2 copies of Deathwing in our hand. Kind of annoying. But it's fine. I suspect that Deathwing is not going to be needed in this game.
I'm out of cards.
Alright, he's out of cards. So it's now or never for him in terms of bursting me down. Bring It On, I think, was correct on that previous turn. We've also got more armor gain coming. So unless there is something stupid related to Prophet Velen, Mind Blasts, and other weird shenanigans, I think... Oh, Spawner Shadows. Yeah, we have more health than him. He milled Reno. So I don't see how he wins this. Yeah, he's gonna die before I do. So the armor gain strategy, it's paid off massively for us. And I don't think there's a perfect card that can save him here. Oh bless him, he's trying really, really hard. But we've basically outlasted him, exhausted him of threats.
No, your victory proves
He could have conceded though, just to save us a little bit of time. Okay, next game. So, Reno Jackson. We're going up against another Demon Hunter. Keeping Reno seems very sensible. We lost the previous game against Demon Hunter. Just got absolutely out-aggroed. The damage output from Henchclan Thugs screwed us over. And by the time we were able to stabilise, it was too late. But I feel a lot more confident now with Reno in hand. We've also got a taunt, and a rush minion, and a weapon. So I feel like I've got the right tools here. Oh, that's really, really awkward. I was hoping it would be something small, or that it was a hand of spells, maybe. Oh, it's really, really annoying. Dirty rats sometimes can just absolutely screw you over. A bit like Deathlord.
We're with you.
Right. There's a lot of damage we're taking here. Choices of what to kill. At least next turn we get the AoE, we kill those two. The question is, are we dead? It's turn 4 for crying out loud. Okay, we're not dead. We're close to dead, but not quite dead. So, it's amazing, right? My turn 4. And Reno Jackson seems really far off on turn 6. Even though we've got Reno in hand, ready to go, it's turn 6, 2 turns away. There's no guarantee that we're going to survive that long. Although actually now with 2 taunts in hand, we may be okay. I could have played Kargath and rushed it down, But the taunt seems better. We get the taunt and the armor gain here.
All I see is
And he has to work
weakness.
hard to kill it. Oh, okay. Maybe not that hard to kill it.
We're with
Oh
you.
dear, oh dear, oh dear. And this is why Demon Hunter is so good.
We're with you. We're gonna be rich.
Okay, 37 health including armor. He's going to have to work hard to get through that. The annoying thing though is we've played Reno, we've healed to full health. There's still so much damage coming our way. My goodness, look at him go. Oh, he traded 1 minion in, that's something. These cards in my hand, they're helpful, but they're not game winning. We need Brawl, basically,
The blade fist has no back.
or Warpath.
Do your worst. Death does not scare me.
Okay. So, Deathlord, how are you going to screw me over today? What minion are you going to put out on his side of the board? Is it going to screw me over massively?
We're with you.
Our enemies will fall.
Oh, come on. Again. Ah.
Fires of vengeance.
Alright, could have been worse. Could have been worse. We need a miracle here. Oh, hello. That's a miracle. That is honestly a miracle. Now, if the 2-2 comes out of this as the survivor, we'll be very happy. Oh, look. Ask and you shall receive.
Do you see what must be done?
And I think now from this point we just win. Just a little bit of extra healing value there. Yeah, that's it. Wow. What a comeback. What an incredible comeback.
Victory.
Okay, our next game is against a Shaman. This is going to be very interesting. I don't know if this mulligan is correct. I'm assuming he's going to be aggressive in some sense, so I value the Blood Razor, and I value having a taunt with armor gain to protect my face. That's my logic there. Do not know if it was correct. So, Philip, please tell me, was it correct? Clearly, N'Zoth is not what we want to see.
We have turned our curse into our
Okay, he's an even deck. So, big threats are going to be coming down very quickly. Thing from Below, Sea Giant, Flame Wreath Faceless, buffed totems. Those are the things that we're worried about. Even Shaman has always been a very consistent deck on wild mode now for a very long time. So this will be a real test for this deck and its ability to cope with the onslaught of pressure that they can put on.
I wonder.
What's he thinking about? It's turn 2. Just play something, honestly.
There's little time.
Okay. Playing Deathlord really scares me here, because putting out, a sea giant or a thing from below, I mean, that could just win him the game. So in this matchup, Deathlord could be more of a liability, considering how big his threats are.
Well played.
Interesting. I guess it could be worse. He could have got more value on his totems a bit later on, so... I'll take it. We can clear most of the board now. And I think we're going to start to hit our stride now shortly. We have our 5-drop. He is a thing from below. That costs 1. It's insane. Alright. I'll play my Scrap Golem. Unfortunately, Scrap Golem, I love the card, I really do. I think the value is brilliant. It's just that there's this 5/5 on the board, and it's going to be whacking my face very shortly.
What to do?
Although he is thinking. What is he thinking about? Maybe he's worried about putting too many low attack, low health minions on the board. Because the board gets full, and then he can't play anything else until I clear some minions away. Is that ever a viable strategy? Do nothing, so they can't play anything, and then they mill themselves? I guess if you've got enough armour, it's fine for a couple of turns. But anyway, Deathlord. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what it brings out. I'd feel so much better about this play if I had a brawl for the following turn, maybe?
I wonder.
Or maybe a warpath.
Well,
I guess from his perspective, he wants to get the value from my Deathlord. He wants to put something on the board, right? From his deck. Because it could be something big. The chances are it will be an above average minion. Okay, that's still above average. It's a 2-cost 3/4. Stats are crazy. And no overload, because it was summoned from the deck. Yeah, that worked out for him pretty well. I mean, what would have been a bad outcome for him? From the Deathlord. Is there a bad outcome in his deck? I don't think so. Anyway, Dr. Boom, mad genius. Kind of played out of desperation for the armour. Also played because I want the hero powers. And maybe they can save me. Maybe they can help me. Maybe they can find me a solution here. Hakkar is not the solution. This is a really scary situation to be in. But now, here's the other reason we played Dr. Boom. Our mechs, they can rush. It's actually really helpful. So, I think I am tanking more face damage than I need to be tanking here. Perhaps have not thought through the ordering of my plays well enough here. So yeah, I think I'm misplaying horribly. But at the very least, we are going to accomplish one major thing. We are going to clear the board, which is good. But our health total is going to be ridiculously low at 7. So that's not where we want to be against an aggressive opponent. Now his deck plays Crackles, right? So spell power enabled Crackle, and I probably lose. So he goes wide on the board again, but what a top deck. This is quite a cute play. Armor up, Zola, armor up. Okay. Unfortunately, it does leave the 4 mana 7/7 on the board, and that's going to do 7 to our face, right? You've got to assume. And every time we make progress with clearing the board, he simply refills. Yeah, running him out of resources is going to be perhaps a bit more challenging compared to our previous games. Alright, what do we get? We get the Ziliax, so that's healing. That's going to help us here. Ziliax plus armor.
Unity, precision.
And I feel a bit more comfortable. Now, bring it on. We've given him a discount.
Primitive.
How afraid do we need to be? And if I didn't play Bring It On that turn, when else would I play it? I feel pretty comfortable here. We have more health than him, including armor. That's 7 attack. Surely going face, right? You'd never ever trade. Yeah, it goes face. And that's fine. Because I have Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. Well, actually... the Mortuary Machine. Interesting. So, we can fully clear the board here. We trade into the Totem Golem.
Listen here.
And then... we play Blade Storm. That clears most of the board. And this deals with 4 mana 7/7. However, his minions are now going to have the Reborn effect. You can see him mousing over the card. He's quite interested. He's like, ooh, look, I get value from this. Let's just hope that he plays small minions. That's a small minion. That's really good for me. That's another small minion. That's also good for me, but could be discovering a large minion.
Nice.
Oh dear. Am I going to regret picking this mech?
This curse has become
Yep.
our greatest.
I regret it. Oh god. Vicina. Vicina with Reborn. And he kills the mech. Oh god. And he gets a taunt. Are you kidding me? Perhaps Dragon Queen Alexstrasza was an option on the last turn, but I wanted to take advantage of the armor gain as well. At least we get some healing from this board with the trades that he's making. Oh, 8 to the face. Oh, Plague of Wrath. Actually does very little here. In that Vicina and the 8/5
Life and hope
doesn't get rid of them completely. And so Dragon Queen Alexstrasza at least gives me a taunt. So that's something. He also has to think about the 8/8. Because now that's going to trade in well with Gen, the 8/5. That's if he decides to trade. I don't think he is, right? He has to get through my taunt. He has to potentially think about killing the Azadrake because it's got spell power.
What to do?
But is that relevant for me? If I get Warpath, I guess that's relevant. So maybe you do kill the Azadrake and you remove... you ignore, Dragon Queen Alexstrasza. So maybe that's the play.
There is little time.
Alright, he actually kills off his own Vicina. Oh wow. He ignores the Azadrake. He wants to go all face. He ignores the Alexstrasza as well. Okay. This turn feels a little bit awkward. Is there a way for me to clear this board and still preserve Alexstrasza or the Azadrake? I don't think so. The issue is Plague of Wrath, and it's going to kill my minions as well as his.
The blade fist has no left.
Oh, this feels really awkward.
Do your worst.
So basically, I need to get to Gen. I need to kill him with the Alex.
life at any cost.
Is this the right play? I have no idea.
Life at any cost.
However, it removes the majority of the board that's threatening my health total. Vicina dying is absolutely critical to stop him getting value on overload cards with attack power. Oh god, another threat. Another massive threat that we can't immediately deal with. Shield Slam with the armor gain does nothing. It's only 7. Whereas Reno Jackson, that does something. And in fact, that saves me here. Can't afford to get greedy with the dead man's hand. We have to Reno.
We're gonna
Okay.
be rich.
So, Sea Giant. How do we deal with you? It'd be interesting to see if he trades into Reno. He may fear a return to hand effect. Yeah, he trades. That's good. That's really good. That Reno had a passive taunt effect. And, oh dear lord, he's got Prophet Velen. And a 12/12. Brawl top deck? Yeah. Just exactly what we needed. Wow, we're doing really well with our top decks. And of course, the highest attack minion survives the bloody 12-12.
Our hammers echo in the deep.
And I think our face is going to take an absolute battering here. Ooh, that's painful. I mean, surely at this point, we must be getting close now to running him out of threats the longer this game goes on. But the 12-12 is on the board.
Hammers strike.
So, I think our only option here is N'Zoth. So naturally, we're scared of Devolve. If he is Devolve, we're really sad.
Do your
But you know, one thing I've forgotten is I've got rush effects on these minions. I have Kargath and I have 2 mechs. I'd completely forgotten.
do your worst.
Completely forgotten. And this has reduced the damage on the board. This goes back to one of Philipp's top tips. Remember that these minions have rush when you bring them back with N'Zoth. There's the Devolve! Wow. Thank goodness. Thank goodness we made the trades. Thank goodness we made the trades. Oh, he rolls for 5. Wow. Oh, and Kargath Prime. Exactly what we needed. Again, the top decks. Incredible.
I will have my vengeance.
The trouble is, we, I think, have to trade the Prime into the 12-12. I don't see another way around it.
You are finished.
Can't target the 12-12 with our hero power. Otherwise, I would do that and trade the other minions. Yeah, it's really annoying. That 12-12. Of all the things he could have got from the Evolve effect, from the Stormbringer effect, and I think I've just misplayed because I could have used the hero power on his other minion. And that dirty rat play was terrible as well. I could have brought up something massive that I couldn't deal with. I think I panicked as the rope was burning. But look, it all worked out in the end. It all worked out. Wow, what a game. Misplays and all, what a game. Okay, so Philipp's Reno Warrior. Ladies and gentlemen, this deck is beautiful. You stand a very good chance of beating aggro with this deck if you follow Philipp's top tips from earlier on. Against Reno Priest, if you can armor up, as you saw earlier, again, you can win. I think you could even consider yourself to be favoured, perhaps. Mage, I have not faced with this deck, and I will let Philip comment on how the Mage matchup goes. I could see a scenario where if they can't complete the quest quickly enough, then a wave of taunts on the board, or taunts being brought back by N'Zoth, could delay the inevitable. It could delay his giants from connecting with your face. But the trouble is now with Mage, whenever I face a Mage, they complete the quest on like turn 5 or turn 6, and if they draw the giants in the first half of their deck, they probably just win the game. If they're too slow at completing the quest, yes, maybe this deck can put up enough roadblocks to outlast them. Maybe. But I think it's somewhat unlikely. So there are good matchups, there are bad matchups, as with all things. Is this deck as strong as a traditional Reno Warlock? Maybe not. But it has a unique feel to it. It has the fun factor going for it, and it's unexpected. The surprise factor does count for a lot in the meta because a lot of people will be used to playing certain games. They'll be used to facing Reno Locks, Reno Mages. Those are the two key Reno decks at the moment. And if they go up against a Reno Warrior, they'll be like, what the hell am I facing? How do I counter this? How do I plan my turns? What am I to expect? And that surprise factor sometimes can just be enough to help you win the game. The other thing to note, and if you look back at the last game, I played N'Zoth the Corruptor, and I got those rush minions back to life. I almost ended my turn before attacking with the minions because I was like, oh my god, they have rush. That realization hit me. I'm not used to playing N'Zoth and getting rush minions back. I'm used to playing N'Zoth and just getting stationary bodies on the board that can't do anything. But the beauty of this deck is you do get some taunts that come back to life, that give you life gain, like Kartuk Defender. You do get Kargath back. You do get these mechs that can rush, like the Scrap Golem. So I do like the inclusions of these cards in the deck. To me, it's a very smart strategy that Philipp has come up with here. Mixture of healing, mixture of taunts, mixture of rushing mechs. I think it's very clever. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will ask the deck author, Philipp, to comment on them. But until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all again very soon, as always, for more Wild Mode fun.